Hey, man. Murdock room good, man. I tell you what. Man, I wanted to make a video. Man, so I was watching something today. I was watching, it just happened to be a review. And I know that I talked about my views on reviews. But it was very interesting to listen to this because it was basically the only thing in the review was he was reading the flavor profile from the juices that he was vaping. And there wasn't really any input onto what the juice was and how it was and any quality of the juice or anything. So it didn't really get me thinking because this has kind of been my view on things for forever. As far as good juice goes, what defines good juice? All right. This is my opinion on what defines good juice. All right. And I use these are things that I use when I'm making my own juice. When I'm making juice. Now, one thing that you will listen and watch reviews and people say, well, they'll go over a couple points. They'll say flavor, vapor, and throat hit. And that's it. That's the only topics that they'll sit there and comment on. Flavor, vapor, and throat hit. All right. So, to me, there's a lot more to vaping than that because vaping to me is an experience, right? It is not just. I kind of tie vaping more towards into like having a pipe. It's an experience that you have basically when you're sitting down relaxing, smoking a pipe, basically, because that's what I can equate it to. Right? Because I still got like 20 tobacco pipes still. I mean, I don't really use them, but I still got them because that was part of my lifestyle. Anyways, with that, it is an experience. You know, it's not just, oh, I'm smoking. You know, it is a way to unwind from your day. It is a way to relax. It is a way to be satisfied. And to me, that's what vaping's about, being satisfied. Anyways, let's get to this point, right? So, and I was actually talking about this same thing with somebody earlier, like on either Thursday or Friday. But he had me a juice to try, you know, and we were talking about like reviews and my views on. Well, we weren't necessarily talking about reviews or per se, but we were talking about juice, and my views on what makes a good juice. And the juice that he was vaping on, I'm not gonna say names, but it is a pretty high quality juice, you know, or it's a well-known juice, and yeah, it's an expensive juice. So it's one of those. Oh my God, man! So here, let me explain to you. Now, this is not the juice that I have, but this is how you would do with any juice, basically. How I do it. First thing I do with the juice is I smell it, right? I mean, if it's in a bottle, I take it out and I smell it and everything, and I get what the juice smells like. The juice itself, what it smells like, right? Well, the same thing kind of applies when you're vaping. As you're bringing it up to your mouth, do you smell anything? Do you smell anything? That's part of the experience, man. You might not realize it, but that's part of the experience. All right, so that's your first one, man. Do you smell anything, right? As you bring it up. Next one is basically going to be your draw, right? Do you have anything on the draw, right? So as you're vaping it, as you're drawing it into your mouth. Now, see, I'm a mouth, and then I knock it down to my lungs. Some people don't do that, man. Some people go straight for the lung hit. I don't understand because, like I said, to me, it's more reminiscent of pipe smoking, so it's more of an experience. So I draw it into my mouth. Now, what I'm looking for, can I taste something? You know, can I taste something? Can I feel it? Do I know that vapor's there? Does it actually have a taste, or does it just feel like warm steam in my mouth? Or do I even feel that? You know, is it coming from the juice or is it coming from my build? That's what I'm looking for, right? Is there an aspect from the flavor that is present in the draw, right? That's the other aspect, all right? Well, and one thing, like I said, this to me is what I've kind of called the vape cycle. It's the process of vaping, basically. So you draw it into your mouth. The next thing is your throat hit, obviously, because that's, as you inhale it, you're going to get a throat hit. Now, when I do that, I'm looking for, is this throat hit coming from the flavor or is it coming from the nicotine? Because a lot of flavors naturally have a throat hit. I mean, some flavors have more of a throat hit than other flavors, but it's something that you can incorporate into your mixing. So does it have a throat hit? The next thing I have is lung feel. Can you feel it in your lungs? That's what we're looking for. I mean, that's an aspect too. That's part of the vape cycle. Can you feel it in your lungs? The next thing is the exhale. Can you feel it coming out as you're vaping, right? Does it have flavor as you're vaping, right? Is the flavor different from on the draw and on the inhale, or is it the same? Is it different? Now, also, one thing on that exhale that a lot of people don't realize, and you'll see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, it tastes like this." Well, a lot of the flavor, not a lot of it, but sometimes the flavor that you're getting on the exhale is not necessarily flavor, but it's actually a scent. It's because it's coming through your nasal passage. You're getting a scent of the juice itself or of the flavor. So that adds into it. And like I said, some flavors have certain aspects. So then, after you exhale, that's pretty much it. You're looking for, the last one is basically what I call mouthfeel. Sometimes, mouthfeel kind of encompasses the draw too, because can you feel it in your mouth, but does it leave a lingering taste in your mouth? Does it leave what am I looking for, man? Does it leave a taste in your mouth? Can you be able to tell that you've just vaped, basically? If I put this down 5 minutes later, I'd like to know, hey man, I just vaped. I don't need to go vape, And that was one of my biggest problems when I first started vaping, was it was like sucking on a straw. So there wasn't any of that. It was like I went out to vape like I normally would have gone out to smoke, and I'd come back inside, and 5 minutes later, I couldn't even remember if I'd went outside to vape. So that's just me, though. So anyway, back to this juice that I tried. Now, like I said, this is a high quality juice. Okay, it's well known, and to me, I put it through the runners just like I did with that. Now, when I mix my juice, right, when I take all of those aspects and I try to hit on at least 3 of them. At least 3 of them, right? So you're going to get either a good flavor on the draw, you're going to get a good throat hit, or you're going to get a good mouthfeel. You're going to get something, basically. That's how I make juice. I've got to have at least 3 of them aspects covered, because it makes for a better experience. Now, with this one, I drew it into my mouth. Nothing. There was no taste. There was absolutely no taste. The only thing that I could kind of feel in my mouth was a little bit of warmth, but that came from the build. That didn't come from the flavor. I'd go in, throw the inhale. Now, this was, I think, a 3 milligram, might have been a 6 milligram, but there was no throat hit. Minuscule throat hit. But any of the throat hit that was there was clearly from the nicotine and not from any flavor. And that's the other thing, is like, certain flavors have hit on certain key aspects of this. So then I drew it into my lungs, and again, I didn't even feel anything in my lungs at all. It was one of those, I did not feel like I just inhaled something. And this didn't seem right to me. And then I exhaled, and I didn't get any taste on the exhale at all. The only thing that I got on the exhale was a little bit of a smell. A little bit of a smell. And that was it. And then there was a little bit of mouthfeel at the end, but it wasn't like a real mouthfeel. It was like I don't know. It wasn't really pleasant. So, but anyways, man. So the point of this is I wanted to point out kind of what I'm looking for in a juice, because I want to be able to say, this is a good juice. You know, I want to say I like this juice, and I want it to be another vendor. But to date, any other juice that I've ever tried has been lacking. And see, the thing about it is, this is something that I've kind of pieced together, is like when I'm building juice, and I hope people can use this. You know, I really, really hope that people can use this to kind of work on mixing stuff. Because when I mix stuff, before I even start with a flavor, I don't go in looking for a specific flavor that I'm going for. I go in looking for, okay, I'm looking for a satisfied vape, and I want to hit on at least 3, maybe even more points of that vape cycle, you know? So I take my flavors each individually, and I experiment with them in their raw form. Basically, I mix them up, and I say, okay, this flavor, you know, is a good exhale flavor. This flavor is a good throat hit flavor. This flavor's got mouthfeel, you know. This flavor's got good inhale, you know. This flavor shines on the draw. And that's what I do with all my flavors before I even consider mixing them into a juice. And then once that's done, then all I got to do is say, okay, I'm going to take this, and I know this flavor plays well with this flavor, so I'm going to do this with that, and then I mix it up, you know, and then I try it. And then I tweak stuff a little bit, but for the most part, the juice is there, you know. So you'll hear me say, or you might have heard me say before, is you really got to understand the flavors. If you're going to do, you cannot just say, oh, I'm going to make a key lime pie and grab the ingredients, what would be in the ingredients in a key lime pie. You just can't do that and just mix it together and say, oh, that's a key lime pie. Because it's not. You're missing the texture. You're missing everything that makes a key lime pie. A key lime pie is not there. You can't just throw in the ingredients and say, that's a key lime pie. Because it's not. You're missing complete aspects. So, anyways, man, I'm rambling. This is just something that I've been wanting to put out this video, I guess, for a while, to kind of explain my views on that vape cycle, man, on what I'm looking for in a juice. You know, what I'm looking for, what I consider a good juice, what I consider a quality juice, what I consider a juice that is not just thrown together so that, yeah, you know, it's, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, man, this Murdock Rome, man. I'm vaping on that glowing street light. That's a good juice. And it's going to be coming out soon, man. I'm planning on pushing that one out. I got one more keychain that I'm getting rid of right now, and this one's really a good one. But anyways, after that one's done, I'm laying off the keychains for a while, and then we'll get this street light out to you guys, man. I know it's been a while. But I figured, you know, from the get-go, it's one of those, I always wanted my juice to be able to help people, you know. And that means any way that it can help people. That's not just helping people get off cigarettes. You know, because I saw early on that this is a good opportunity for me to help people. But anyways, so I'm going to review Streetlight really quick. So basically, I bring it up to my mouth. I bring it up to my thing, and I can kind of smell it. I get a little bit of a smell. Now, I'm not going to go into what I smell, because that's part of the fun of my juice, man. Because, like I said, I don't give a flavor profile. Because, why? What's a Dr. Pepper taste like? It tastes like a Dr. Pepper, man. I'm creating flavors. I'm not making juice to taste like something. So, anyways, I get a good smell, you know. I draw it in my mouth. I can feel it in my mouth. I can taste it in my mouth. Oh, and it is good. Now the throat hit on this one is smooth to me. I mean, and this is like a 10, but the throat hit on this one is fairly smooth. On the exhale, you get a good flavor. You get a good scent in your nose. And then you get a little bit of that mouthfeel, you know? So, to me, that makes a good juice. Doesn't matter what it tastes like. Doesn't matter one bit what it tastes like. Well, as long as it doesn't taste like mushrooms. I tried that once. That didn't work out too well. Anyways, this Murdock roll, man, you guys have a good day. Let me turn this thing off. I don't even know if it's still recording. Yeah, I gotta log into this thing. Hold on. Maybe I can edit off this last bit. I don't know. Well, that didn't work. Hold on. Nope, that's not right. Yep. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to do this with one hand. I shouldn't have let this thing go off, man. But I did. What you gonna do? There we go. All right, man. You guys have a good day.